and one of the major players is the World Petroleum Council. We touched on it at the beginning of the show, but I just want to go through it actually just quickly again to sort of and you're the chairman. How long have you been in that role?
Well, I've been in the chairman's role only a few months, but I've been on the board. I was the vice chair for
what timing, hey?
Yeah. Well, and it's partly because of all that we have going on. So I'll give you a little bit of history because it's really quite an interesting story. Canada has been a member since the 50s of this organization, and the organization, as I said, is all about improving the performance of the petroleum industry at every dimension, from getting it out of the ground, processing it midstream, transporting it, refining it, all of the environmental, social, governance issues, gender parity issues, all these things are part of what the World Petroleum Council focuses on. And so Canada has been an active member for a long time. We've got a great resource base and a lot of companies in our country. We hosted in 2000 the World Petroleum Congress in Calgary. And it was a very, very successful Congress, brought together leaders from all over the world. And as I said, this is a premier Congress. What happens is I'll give you the metrics that Houston is expecting because it's grown so much since Calgary had it. Mm-hmm. But 700 speakers come over the course of 4 days.
Whoa.
CEOs from all the major companies will tend to be there. So the Exxons, Shells, BPs, but not just Western oil companies, all the government-owned oil companies. So Saudi Aramco, Qatar Gas, the Russian companies, all those companies come, and ministers of energy from many countries come as well. And there'll be specialized ministerial sessions where you get to hear directly from a minister speaking about what are the opportunities in that individual country. So it's a great technical program. There's 23 actual individual technical streams over the course of a week. But it's a great high-level business development networking program as well. And so that's what Calgary did in the year 2000. We hosted it. We were successful. And now Houston won the right to do it in 2020. But Calgary was successful and won the right to host the Congress again in 2023. And as we started to put the changes in place, I ended up becoming the chairman of the Canadian chapter because the fellow Denny Panchot, who's our previous chairman, has become our first kind of leading employee. He's our president and CEO because we need to up our organization to start being ready for the 2023 Congress.
That's a huge undertaking.
It is. And there'll be, for Calgary, probably 5,000 delegates will come, 1,000 media from around the world. The trade show element of it will take all the space that's available at the Stampede grounds. We'll probably put up extra tents and have things outdoors as well, just because there's so much demand for space. And when I talk about a trade show, it kind of underestimates the Congress's impact. So big companies will bring booths that, 2-story booths, cost more than $1 million to build, fit for purpose to use for this 4-day period. They bring it all. When they come to this,
absolutely crazy.
It's a top end show designed for high-level executives. And so it's a really, it's going to take all kinds of organizational skill to pull it off. And, we are primarily a group of volunteers. And so we need to develop a team. We need to raise the money, and we need to make sure that we build the relationships around the world with everybody who's going to be participating in 2023 in Calgary.
It is open to you could buy tickets to attend this as well, right? Like the trade shows, and can you attend the talks and everything?
Absolutely. When the time comes, we will absolutely be inviting people from around the world to come. We've already blocked off most of the available hotel space in downtown Calgary and other parts of the city because it's more than downtown Calgary can handle. So we've reserved the rooms to make sure the rates are attractive to allow people to come from around the world, and we're going to welcome the world to Calgary, to Canada, show off what we're doing, and to have a dialogue with the world about what the future holds for our industry and for it's a big part of our whole greenhouse gas debates in the world depends on the performance of the petroleum industry, and that's
Yes.
to
Yeah.
have a huge role. Yeah.
I have to, you sent me some of the images, so I have to touch on it because really what you're doing, and I thought it was so neat because it's like the Olympics. There's a performance at the end of the Houston show that's going to then to kind of hand the torch over. Could you just talk about some of the, I mean, I'm looking at some of these pictures. Just the setup at the Houston show itself is going to be pretty spectacular for the Canada Pavilion.
Absolutely. So the George Brown Congress Center in Houston is an amazing facility. We got to go down in December. Our executive went down to be part of the integrated meetings that Houston was having as part of its planning, and they're being super supportive, helping us learn from them. But that convention center that they have has a hotel on each side, and a big, essentially greened area in between it all. And so they're going to be using all of that. And you can imagine, I don't know how many, I'm going to guess it's 500 yards long and 4 stories tall. It's an amazing facility. They will have several hundred exhibitors in their booths. And what happens is, in their case, they have a second floor where all those technical sessions that I talked about will be taking place, and the main floor is where the Congress exhibition will happen, where all the booths will be. And so one of our tasks is the Canadian delegation right now is to bring a Canada booth into Houston to make sure that everybody understands both what's going on in Canada in terms of technology development, in terms of resource opportunities, government policy, ESG policy. So we want to explain to the world in Houston all the things that Canada is doing. But most importantly, we want to invite them to come to Calgary in 2023. So we've been working with a company that designs these booths, GES, and put together a concept of what a Canada booth could look like. And our next task is to work with governments and companies to finalize that design and essentially book them into the booth space so that we can go down in an ideal world. Let's say we might have 12 or 14 companies and government agencies there to participate. And it's a very high traffic area where you get, probably more business development done in 4 days than you'll do any other time over a 3-year cycle.
Right. Yeah.
Because of the nature of the people who are going through the Congress all the time.